don't think we could have a more appropriate setting to talk about the misconception that the Lake of the Ozarks is just a summertime destination. I'm here with Zach and Katie with Grand Welcome because they live here full time. As you know, if you watch their long form video about their company. So guys, let's talk about what are the things to do? Everybody just assumes everything just completely shuts down in the off season. Tell me why that's not true.
Well, let's start with the obvious ones. I don't think you realize how awesome a fall boat ride is until you do one. And all the boat rental companies are still out there. They're still renting the boats. And I think it's just awesome. In fact, Katie just did one the other day. It's one of the coolest experiences you'll do. Not a lot of people on the lake, which is awesome. Super calm water, super smooth. The restaurants are still there. You can still go in and pull up. It's just an awesome experience.
Yeah, I mean, nothing better than smooth waters and just not cold, but not hot either. Just that perfect, crisp fall air on the boat ride.
And the fall. I mean, it's happening right now. You can kind of see a little bit in the video behind you, but the views that you get from this place, this area in Missouri, there is some incredible views.
Yeah, and speaking of that, haven't been to Tonka State Park, done a walk in Lake Ozark State Park in the fall, you're missing out. They have all sorts of trails. I would love to say thousands of miles, but I'm guaranteeing it's hundreds of miles. And you walk those things, and you have these great views, and you walk on the cliffs, and you can see it all. It's really is a fantastic sight to see.
So that's the obvious.
Yeah.
Boating in the fall and actually in the winter is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you have the proper equipment, maybe a cover for your boat, maybe even a heater, things like that. What else is there to do with the lake? Because, I don't think that's the first thing on people's mind, boating in cold weather.
That's fair. But here's a couple things we really learned just going down here. The fall festivals are in plenty. And in fact, we get about it. There's so many cool things. I'll give you an example. Lowry State Park, which is just the local park, not a state park. Lowry Park, the local park. They actually do a Halloween festival, and it's really cool. So they invite all the kids, all the local businesses are there. You can trick or treat, you can walk around, you can rent a hayride. They offer a hayride, all these things that it's not like it's advertised as well as probably it could be. But to be honest with you, it's a lot of fun. They do locally, we had a deal where you could walk through all the businesses, and it's each one, right?
Well, there was a boutique crawl not too long ago, which was really fun for anybody who likes to shop local. There's just so many very cool, unique boutiques down here that offer clothing and household goods and soaps and candles and all the kinds of fun stuff that's just fun to shop for. So they did a big boutique crawl not that long ago where all of them got together. They kind of created this path and, visited all of these different shops. There were prizes that you could win and drinks and, little appetizers and things. So people could make a whole day out of just shopping local.
We joined the Loto Whiskey Club.
Oh, that sounds right.
It was fantastic.
So what does that entail?
So it's literally a Facebook group. Anybody can join it. There are folks from California in it. There are folks from Missouri, Iowa, all across what, and then what makes it Loto? What makes it Because when they do the event, they do them at the and so we did one at the tavern. And get a bit there, fantastic restaurant. I think had a few people say that. But yeah, you go in, you bring a bottle of whiskey and maybe an appetizer to share. You go in, and there was 28 people there this event right here in October, which was awesome. I think the next one is coming up in November. It's going to be at the Midwest Bottle Grill. So it's just
Once a month.
Yeah, once a month. So it's just really cool that all these people, and there are folks, like I said, coming in, a part of this club to join and bring their bottle of whiskey and share it.
They still do poker runs in the off season, bass fishing tournaments.
Big bass bash just happened.
Off season, they've had multiple bass fishing tournaments. Which by the way, I usually highlight this stuff on our TikTok channel. So if you're in, obviously that typically comes over to shorts on YouTube. So if you follow us because you like the long form videos, go check out our short form videos. Go check out our TikTok. We're also on Instagram and Facebook, and constantly highlighting what's going on. We're doing this interview right around Halloween. There's trunk or treats, there's tons of Halloween activities. What about as we creep into November? What kind of things would you suggest people to do in November?
Well, for people who have families, like we have 2 kids, and so we're always looking for things to get out of the house, to get cooped up. Our kids love minor mites. There's the big play area. There's all the games, which is always really fun. You've got the indoor water park over at Margaritaville. Thank you. Lori has a really nice indoor pool, which our kids love to go to, and we swing to practice our, swim lessons techniques and stuff like that. There's a trampoline park over in Osage Beach. So there's even lots of things to do for the kids that are indoors, but still fun and get you out of the house.
Right around the corner, we've got December, which is Christmas time. And I think the first thing I think of is the ice rink at Old Kinnerook. Right. So if you're familiar with Old Kinnerook, they've got the sand volleyball that converts into ice rink, which is such just factors. The setting, the lighting, the bar. What other kind of things are there to do in really cold weather sets?
Well, I'm kind of old-fashioned this way, but there's really nothing better than having a warm cup of coffee just sitting on the deck on the lake. But
doing what we're doing right now,
this is great, right? That's fantastic. I think there's just a pile of restaurants and music events and things that continue to go on. In fact, there's you can go to many websites that talk about that. All the Lake Expo have an entire breakdown of all the music events. So there's still that stuff going on, and I don't think people realize that.
And as you get into Christmas and New Year's, there's holiday events, holiday parades, and New Year's parties that happen down here at the lake. So there's still lots of stuff that's going on besides just live music.
The dam is popping on the big events like New Year's, Christmas, that kind of stuff. Those restaurants are available. They're organizing. There's parties going on.
And I think a lot of people just assume that every bar on the lake closes as soon as the summer's over, and some do, but many are still open. And we can provide the list in this video. I know Captain Ron's has always got a lot of stuff going on. Is there any other favorite lake restaurants, on the lake restaurants that you guys still enjoy going to in the off season?
I think Point Oasis, which is the gas station, but Lake House 13 was always a good spot for us. We like going there. That's the one right next to us.
Great view. So Papa Chubby's.
Those are all good options.
Paradise
Paradise is always a good option too. And frankly, they're, I would even say that their pricing changes in the wintertime, and it's really easy to go and have it do and enjoy it. So I enjoy that.
I think what's most important too is just keep an eye out. So if you really do truly use this channel and this platform as a way of learning what's going on, I'll be sharing that stuff as we go on. So we're kind of speaking in general terms. To me, and I think you guys can probably attest to this, as a non-full-time Laker yet, the thing that I most love about the off-season, and I'm almost feel like I'm becoming that Ebenezer Scrooge of the lake, like the typical local who starts to hate the tourists, or the weekend warriors. The thing I love about the off-season is it's so peaceful, it's so calm. You mentioned this in the beginning, and we've done many of these interviews, and the feeling that people Lakers get, like when you're first pulling into the Lake of the Ozarks area, you're crossing over that first bridge, just that feeling and then when you walk into your condo or your home and you walk through, you open up those blinds, and it's just there's just this feeling of calm and just happiness, and I cannot stress or express that feeling of calm this time of year. I love the sound of boats, but I also love the sound of calm. And it's you get the best of both worlds. And I think if you don't come down here in the off season, you are absolutely missing.
I like to call that the letdown. So for me, you're all tense and you're tight and you had a long week at work and things are just, and you cross that bridge and it makes like both physically and mentally just like let down and relaxing almost instantly. And it's the best thing in the whole world.
Does it change when you live here? Does that mystique go away?
Not for me, at least not yet. And face would change. I don't think they will. You know, we're out and about and we get to see beautiful scenery like this every day when we're working. There's still that like letdown when we get home, like, isn't it so nice that we live here now? I get to look out my window and see a beautiful view of the lake. And, you know, on the weekends when we used to dread having to go home, we still get that feeling of like, we don't have to drive home. We are home. Like, we just have to stay here. We get to enjoy those those peaceful Sunday afternoons.
That's true. You know, when we started staying, you know, COVID happened and started working more remotely, leaving on Sunday always sucked. Even when I just stay till Monday now, I have that feeling on Sundays. Like, this is cool. I don't have to go home. I can go out on the boat and just relax. And it's you know, again, here we are talking about things to do in the off season. But I think that peace and that serenity and the quiet, and man, if you've not considered buying down here, you absolutely should. If you have considered living down here and you have the opportunity to work remotely, you should. I'm going to be one of those people. So what are your parting thoughts about the fall and the winter, Billy?
Here's what I'd say. I didn't ever believe that coming down here in the winter would be worth it. And I owned a place here. A couple winters ago, long before we started this, I did it. I took a week. I said, no, I got this place. Let me go check it out. And I woke up for a week every morning in the best spirited mood I possibly could. And I worked for that week here. I was stuck. That one. I'll tell you, I was hooked at that moment. I knew I wanted to live here at that moment. And that was in the middle of the winter because I've been here a lot in summer, and I was hooked in the winter.
Cool. Dave?
We have, I mean, for me, it's just, you haven't experienced the lake in the off season, right? Anytime other than cold, fall, I mean, summer. But come down. Fall is great. Spring is awesome. Winter is lovely. It's just, it's an experience that everyone should have. Our point about this video, there's this stigma, there's nothing to do, like it's a place to go on you. That has just changed out here. There's lots of things to do, and it's great to see all around.
I didn't even mention golf.
Oh, man.
Also, you know, between, you know, Kindred Rocks and Osage National, there's so many courses down there. I didn't even realize it. Golf is another passion of mine. And if you are thinking to yourself, maybe yelling across the house to your wife or your husband right now, then you know what? We should go experience the lake of the off season. This house could be rented. The one that we're sitting at right here on this is over an old boathouse. They've got a dock. They've got an awesome deck here. How do they get in touch with you guys? Maybe
FrankWelcome.com. Go there. You're going to see all the properties across the nation. Click on Lake Ozark. You're going to find the good old Lake and Lake right here. It's a great property. And hey, like I said, there'll be more to come. So excited.
Awesome. And more videos to come.
I hope.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.